Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 17 of the Flight Test Community Podcast.
And this is Steve from FFRC podcast. This is episode 40, I think.
40.
Yeah, 40. Congratulations, guys. You're at episode 40.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, good job, guys.
That's fantastic. So we might want to introduce everybody who's all in this mess tonight, because we may have some people who've never heard these voices before.
That is definitely a
very
possibility.
All right. So, Mike, why don't you start us off and introduce the guys of the Flight Test Community Podcast?
Okay, well, first off, I'm Mike Finley. Next, you have Joel Cannon, and then you have Patrick Sean Murphy.
No, that's your
right.
cue to
And
speak, Pat.
He just waves.
Oh, wait. Is this audio?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, hey everybody, how you doing?
What's up, Pat?
Hello.
So, who are the other voices that we have on here?
All right. So I'm Steve, as mentioned before, and we have Kevin here,
Hey guys.
and we got our friend Nick.
How's it going?
Nick. What's up,
Well,
Nick?
we're going to welcome each other to our shows.
Yeah. Welcome to the Flight Test Community Podcast, guys.
Yeah, and welcome to the FFRC podcast too.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
So this is going to be complete shenanigans because
I hope so.
obviously we've been talking this up on both of the shows now for the better part of 2 months plus. So
Yeah.
this is something that's been in the works. We met all the guys at Flight Fest and we said, we've been talking about this for so long. It's got to happen, and we got to kind of wrap it up in a big show, and then we'll put it out on both channels, and we'll get everybody's listeners to listen to each other. So it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to this very much.
Yeah, well, we have the dulcet tones of Kevin on one of our earliest podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, we
we've crossed this barrier of two different podcasts.
Yeah,
before.
No,
It was
before
episode
our
3.
In all actuality, we
That's
didn't.
right.
Because,
No,
that
because-
was pre-free fall podcast.
That was just a glimmer in Kevin's eye at that point.
Yes, it was.
I think that's what made him decide to do it.
Cool.
Yeah. Well,
And now
I've told
they
this.
have
Sorry,
40.
I've told this story before, where we had a couple of podcasts out there that we used to listen to that kind of just went by the wayside, and we were like, we should do a podcast. I was talking to Steve, and probably 2015 we were talking, and I said, we've built so many flight test planes, and we have so many like little tips and tricks that we do, and we could probably fill at least an hour or two, and now it's an hour or two.
Their
if-
cell phone.
If Chad Capper was here, he would freak
Pat.
out.
Look, that's my mom calling. Relax.
All right.
Thanks for ruining that. All right, back to Kevin.
Is she telling you to stop drinking while you're doing the podcast?
It's Mountain Dew,
Oh, it's Mountain Dew. All right.
unfortunately.
That's funny.
So that's the reason behind us, getting together and doing the podcast, because we just wanted to give back to the community in some way, shape, or form. And we have the explicit tag. We were talking earlier about it, and that's just because when guys get together, sometimes stuff slips out, and we were like, we'll just roll with it. So that's basically it.
For sure. That's fantastic. And this is our podcast is a product of Mike's initial vision of getting everybody together and bringing the community aspect of the hobby, especially for flight test. So we're here because of Mike. So Mike, it's all your fault, buddy.
Every time I turn around, I get blamed for this.
It is. I mean, really.
Man.
But it's true.
I'll tell you, I was psyched when I heard that you guys were going to start a podcast.
Yeah.
That it was going to be a community cast, because you had the regular guys that were doing it, and they're so busy, and then you had Chris and his group, and they got kind of busy. So it's been great, man. It's been great.
Well, we've tried to fill the void a little bit, only because we love, everything they do over there for the most part, and it's like, man, we need to help them out if we can.
Yeah, you guys are like the Star Trek Voyager of the whole Star Trek Enterprise. Or
Yeah,
no,
I
what
like
was
that.
it?
No,
Not
we're-
Voyager. What was the other one? Deep Space
Next-
Nine.
Deep
Oh,
Space
Deep Space
Nine.
Nine.
Yeah,
Deep
you had the
Space
original
Nine.
and the Next Generation, and you guys are like Deep Space Nine.
We're just kind of like the Ferengis running around on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Here, we need to
don't-
do this then.
Do I have the right ears for that? Yeah, for real.
That's it.
I'm glad I just got some new headphones. My goodness.
I'll show you how much of a nerd I was, and how psyched I was when I was getting more Star Trek,
Oh,
more
that's
flight
funny.
test.
Yeah, well, and that was honestly that was our biggest thing is like, we missed that, and being able to just talk about it is a really good thing. And I think you guys probably felt the same thing because one of the only topics that seems to be coming up recently for you guys is helicopters. So
Yeah,
I think you were missing a void with the helicopter thing, and we were missing a thing with the flight test thing. So it all ended up coming together really nicely. So the nice
These
thing.
guys and their helicopters, man, it just starts spreading like wildfire.
Well, we
No.
could title this episode "What Nick Broke Today."
Oh, boy.
Quite literally what I broke today. Yeah, just a few hours ago I drove a heli into the ground.
Oops. So I think that probably rolls us straight into what have we been up to in RC, which I think is one of your usual show topics, right, Steve?
Yes, indeed, it is. So yeah, let's go over it. What have you guys been up to? How are we gonna do this? There's a lot
Nick?
of us here.
Well, hey, let me throw this out there. The Freefall RC guys were featured in a magazine.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yes,
that's true.
I have
Oh,
my
he has
copy.
it, though? Jeez, I don't even have a copy of that.
You don't have a copy of this yet.
I gotta send one for you to sign, Nick. I want your autograph.
Wait until Flight
Yep.
Fest next year?
Yep. We've definitely
Yeah.
been featured.
I'm gonna have to pick up a copy of that so I can get all your guys' signature in it too. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. That's really great.
I've been able to find it in Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
So-
Barnes and Nobles.
Sorry, what is that store that you're referring to?
It's a bookstore, and
I
they
know,
carry
I'm teasing. Mine
magazines.
closed. Yeah. So
we
some,
don't read very much down in Florida.
well, it's
Yeah.
also one of those cases where businessbyamazon.com is overtaking the good bookstores down here, and so I don't have a good one by me.
That was pretty good, Joe.
That was pretty good.
That wasn't bad.
I've been around you long enough. Anywho, so Nick, why did you crash a helicopter? What the heck were you doing?
I dumb-thumbed it.
Um,
Plain and simple, I dumb-thumbed it. I went to trim it out and went to go back onto the sticks and just bumped it over and put it right into the ground.
Oh, never trim out a helicopter. You never use the trims. It will mess up your flybrowse unit, and it'll just see each trim as an input and not actually as a trim. So never trim. Mechanically set it up.
Well, that's good information to have now.
Yeah.
That's
Great tip, Steve.
now that may be true for your guys' setup, but I'm running such a janky setup through my radio. I'm running a Turnigy 9X, which really doesn't have the support for helicopters that I should have.
Doesn't matter. It's the icon that doesn't understand the trim. So that's all
Icon
I'm
just
saying.
Icon just sees it as an input.
Yeah, it
it's-
just sees you moving it a little to the left or whatever way you're trimming.
Yeah, which for a Turnigy 9 with the gimbals that are not really worth a damn, right? It's just gonna add a little to the left or a little to the right.
No, but I mean, like, it just takes it as if you were holding a transmitter and you hit the trim left, it just takes it as you going left and then returning it back to center. It doesn't take it as trim. It only takes it as a slight input.
So it
Yeah.
doesn't trim it at all. It just
It's
treats
just
it as a slight stick movement.
Yes, correct.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
flybrowse is the computer. The way it works is everything has to be done on the computer, on the flybrowse unit, and I mean on top of being mechanically leveled and all that stuff.
yeah, mine was totally not mechanically leveled. That's another thing. I was also flying on a helicopter that wasn't completely set up.
It was like a little crooked.
I'm assuming this is
It
code
must-
for the helicopter wasn't well tuned to begin with.
No, it wasn't. It's one of those things where just like with like a quad or something, if you were to flash the like naze board or whatever and go out and fly it, that's pretty much how I was running it.
Any more luck with your PIDs there, Nick? For those of you who don't know, Nick has been having quite a rough time with getting his PID tuning dialed in for, what is it you're flying?
It's a 250 size quad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing, it was tuned once, the settings got erased somehow, and I can't tune it to save my life.
I've been trying to help you for the last 3 or 4 days, and I'm still trying to figure out what the heck's going on with it.
All I know is I can get it in the air, I can fly it around a little bit, but as soon as I try to get any real movement going, it just ends up on the ground upside down, and pretty sure I have a crack in my video antenna.
Ooh,
Yeah,
not fun.
'cause I noticed my range went from being able to go like anywhere and barely getting signal loss to like I go about 20 feet away and I start getting breakup.
I wonder if it's the wire inside the video transmitter that seems to be the
Yeah.
issue. Well, maybe you and I will jump on and we'll do some troubleshooting with it.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the coax cable inside
Yeah.
that runs the antenna.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, try if you're still having. Do you have any other antennas you can run on it, or?
Not any good ones, no.
Oh, fair enough. Even if it's a rubber ducky, just to test it.
If I could find it, but then again, none of them are labeled for what they are. So I have 2.4, 433, and 5.8, and they're just probably all together.
You should be able to tell by size. 5.8 is going to be the smaller of the antenna.
Not when it
Yeah.
comes to the rubber duckies, they're the same size.
Yeah, they're all roughly the same size.
Unless you actually crack them open and look at the antenna inside.
The whip inside, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So
All
I
right.
flew a plane today.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 planes, two.
Hey,
flew
I've
two
had
planes.
success on my plane.
Yeah. Mikey
In
will
fact,
probably like
I
this,
flew
man.
a plane today too.
I've been running 4S on my Sukhoi, and
Oh, wow.
I've been freaking loving it.
Beast.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
thinking
been
about
really
it.
good. I
got
got
the-
the Sukhoi banged up from Steve. He put it through a tree and put it through the ringer.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm thinking about selling it. And so he sold it to me for like dirt cheap.
Mhm.
And after I bought him coffee, I was able to fly it. And no, so he had changed the
boy.
ESC out, and it can handle like up to 6S, I think, or something. I said, you know what, I'm gonna throw a 4S in that thing, and I'm gonna see what it'll do. And I did it last time I was out at the field. This time I got a chance to fly it some more, and it's exactly what I was looking for out of this plane. Like, no more like full throttle trying to get this thing to hover or do anything. It's like half throttle, and it's got a lot of power.
Oh, wow.
So I'm
Fantastic.
still
I
kind
have
of
to
experimenting with it.
do that.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like just trying to make sure nothing's going to explode. You know, as I'm flying it around, I might change the motor out. I'm not sure, but it's been great. I've been really enjoying it.
So, motor getting hot or anything?
Not really. No, the ESC got a little warm, but that was about it. So I think I'm okay.
Oh, I think you'd be all right.
Yeah, I changed. I mean, I have a fuselage and wings that I bought new, and I'm gonna probably swap things over. But I wanted to make sure it would actually work, first, and
Yeah.
not plummet into the ground.
That's kind of important.
Yeah,
Well.
exactly.
Cool.
Oh, fantastic.
And
How
then I
about
flew
you?
my little micro beast around in
Oh,
Dude, you were killing it with
20
that.
hour winds. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a
Steve,
great
you
little
said
plane.
you were flying planes too?
Yeah, I made in the FT Sparrow today.
Oh, that's right.
Wait,
Nice.
Steve,
Yes.
did you get your temperature checked? It's very unusual for you to be flying anything with fixed wings.
Yeah, I still fly fixed wing. You know what
Yeah,
it is?
yeah.
Is I have a controller. I have a transmitter just for helicopters, right? I use this Mikado V control. So when I go to the field, normally I don't want to lug all this extra stuff around. I just want to lug my transmitter, my batteries, my helicopters. I'm good. But today, Chloe wanted to come out to the field, my daughter. So she, usually I have buddy box with her. So yeah, I have to bring my DX9 out. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna main the FT Sparrow today. So I brought that out, shoved a 1300 3S in there with like, I don't even know how many lead weights for like car rims in the nose, and it balanced out. I chucked in the air, and even in the wind, wobbly, but it flew. It flew
Yeah,
perfect.
flew good.
Cool.
Yeah. I want to put like a 3-bladed prop on it though. I want a little more juice. I might try 4S too. Screw it. Why not?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put 4S on the Sea Duck.
Yeah.
Do it.
Nice.
Do it.
Yes.
Well, I'm only running, what is it, 750 kV motors?
Oh wow.
Yikes, that's low.
Yeah. How big is your
Something
prop?
that
Like
big?
14-inch?
10 by 4, 5 by 3.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
still
Yeah, that's really low.
that's
That's-
a really low KV. Yeah, you can definitely afford to bump that up.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's what I had off my old original tricopter.
Wait, are they DT 750s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now it explains everything. Dang.
Yep. Yeah, 10-inch props, 3-bladed.
They'll pull it around great.
Oh, they do.
I mean, it's a slow flying bird as it is, but yeah, that's fantastic that you've been able to on a 3S setup. But I would definitely be curious to bump that same setup up onto a 4S. I'm sure you'll have no problem with that.
Right now, my problem is actually getting the battery into it. The battery hatch is a little small.
Just strap it.
Yes.
You got a knife?
Dude, they make this thing. It's like called an X-Acto knife or something like that. They just cut right into that.
Yeah.
Just the plane's so nice. I don't want to fuck it up too badly.
I hear you.
And that's the first edit of the night. Thank you,
that'll be
Nick. And we are at 28, 22. Thank
That
you.
figures.
Boy, if it had to be anyone, right? All
Right.
right. So, moving on. Anyway, sorry, back to you, Steve, on the Sparrow, as you were saying.
Yeah, so I made in the Sparrow. I only had one pack charged for it, so it went around. It went around good. I did 2 minutes on the clock, and I came down at 4 volts remaining on my battery.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
Bad.
easily. I mean, super efficient. Easily, I could probably have done 6 minutes, 7-minute flights on that, and bring it down
Yeah,
at
I'm sure.
375. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see next time. But yeah, I might bump it up to 4S. I kind of want more speed, even though a couple of club members was like, "Oh, that's pretty quick." I'm like, I like things really fast. Yeah, but besides that, I flew all my helis today. Well, all but one heli was that one heli I'm trying to sell, the 570. But and this was a shock to me. I packed everything up and I was on my way home, and I was thinking in my head, I don't have any repairs to do. I didn't crash anything today, which is so unusual for me. I'm usually at least, grounding an oxy. Just one of them, just toss them to the ground. Like I just chuck it, to the ground. But yeah, no, I think, yeah, everything came back in one piece, and I actually picked up another helicopter. Yeah, from a friend.
Hey guys,
Uh,
I just want to warn you, Fred's here.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
There's Fred.
Oh, boy.
Oh damn.
Run away.
Oh.
Run away.
Yeah. There's nowhere we can run.
Yep, seriously. Hey, he's always creeping in the background of our podcast, so welcome, Fred.
Hey,
I love
Fred.
Hey, Fred.
We love you, Fred.
Oh boy. But yeah, I got another helicopter. So this will be my 6th,
Oh,
third
boy.
Goblin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna get another one, another 700 real soon too. So, yeah, I'm in it. I'm in deep. There's no coming back from this.
Nope.
No.
We've lost him, boys.
No, I'll still fly some planes. Flight Fest is a perfect opportunity to go fly planes. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we've lost him, guys. He's turned to the dark side, and there's no coming back from it now.
It's all good.
Too funny. Too
Cool.
funny.
Yeah, but yeah. So, what have you guys been up to?
Start with Mike. Have you been flying lately?
Actually, I went flying yesterday for a little bit. Had a
Oh!
Well,
Yes,
that ain't the half of it.
applause!
That
Yeah!
ain't the half of it, guys. Not only did I get to fly, but guess what I flew?
What?
Josh Orchard's Bloody Ripper.
Oh!
Yes, I did. Oh, man.
How did it go?
Yeah, please.
The
I
bloody
flew on
Ripper.
a 1500 3-cell 75C. Holy crap, does that thing move?
I have a question.
Oh,
Did the little whistles on the wings work?
Yes, they did. It was fantastic. It sounds like a jet when it goes by.
Is there a video of this?
Yeah, we need video.
I do have
please.
video, but I don't have it.
Awesome.
I don't have it edited yet. So
Edited, give us that.
I do. There's a lot of empty space in it because I was flying over the camera because I just had it set on a tripod. So yeah, yeah. So I flew that. I flew a P-51, and I flew my Sequoia as well, Kevin. But
Nice.
well, no, not really, because the wind was blowing pretty hard, and went down to the field and got right past the trees. And when I did, the wind decided I wasn't flying no more. So I pretty much nosed it in. But thankfully, no, it's great, man. I'm telling you, that's a tough plane. The only thing it broke was the little latch on the
Canopy.
Oh wow!
It's gone. That's it. I'm telling you, I nosed it straight in, and I got video of that too that I will share.
Nice.
That's awesome, though.
Oh man, it was fantastic. And then I flew my little 250 Nighthawk quad a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. So, you guys are asking about the bloody Ripper. It's actually a bloody wonder that's been glass covered, and it is fantastic.
It's got a hot wired wing.
A hot wired wing, and then the rest of it's all been glassed. And oh my God, I'm telling you, the thing is fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's wicked quick.
The roll rate is stupid.
I'm gonna quote Lane from the last show. It has a, what was it? It turns all of the seconds. All of them. All of them.
Great.
Do you remember what Lane said about describing what the roll rate is like with the CUDA?
Yeah,
how fast it is.
It's
how
all of them.
It's all of them. All of them.
Yeah, we definitely have to give credit to Steve, to Scott Zimmerman for that, because he said, "What's the roll rate like?" All of them.
Yep, all of them. Yep, it's definitely it's ballistic aircraft.
Yeah, it really is. And I had to turn up the throw or the travel on the elevator because I didn't have enough on it the first time I made it when we were at Flight Fest, and I broke it in half pretty much, or actually took the wing off of it's what I did, but got it all put back together and increased the elevator travel. And then, of course, I flew it the first time and had to come in and give my expo at 75% just to be able to hang on to it.
Nice.
Wow! Yeah. I don't blame you for
it
that.
It was crazy. But now it flies like a dream, and it has little whistles on each wingtip that come out of Nerf footballs. So when it goes by, it sounds like a jet. It's awesome. And I can't thank Josh Orchard enough for that. So
I love when he built it too, and it's bright yellow, so there's no chance of you losing that plane.
Yeah. Not at all. It's pretty fantastic. I can't wait to get the video edited a little bit, and I'll get it posted on my YouTube. So
sorry, did Josh ever make an article on Flight Test about glassing?
Yes,
I thought he did. I just searched and I didn't find it.
Yeah, I want to know how this is done.
Yeah, I was
pretty
looking
sure
for
he did.
Steve.
I'm pretty sure he did. But just as a quick description, you take light fiberglass cloth. You want to sand the airplane down, even if it's just the boring foam board that you have. You want to sand it down and or remove the paper entirely.
Okay.
And just give it a light sand. You take your light fiberglass cloth, and you have two options when it comes to what you use to gloss the plane over. You can use polyacrylic from Minwax, just the standard water-based polyacrylic.
Okay.
Or the new one that we've all been using, and I know I'm about to test it as well, is the sanding sealer. And sanding sealer is actually, is it oil-based or water-based, Patrick?
Josh has been using the water-based. I didn't find that, and I had some oil-based laying around, so I actually did a Mustang wing. Let me grab that.
Yeah, I have actually been using the water-based stuff. Annoyingly, you can only buy it in the largest tin size, so it's $14 for a tin, but it will last you a good long while. And you lay the gloss over it, and then you just paint it as if it was paint.
Yeah, I mean,
and then if you need to dab it out, use a little bit of paper towel. But that's it. It's simple as that. And then once it's dry, you give it another good sanding to smooth anything out, and then you can use filler if you need to.
So this is an old quarter midget Mustang from the 70s, maybe 60s, and it had open structure. This area that I filled in was just open ribs, but I wanted to sheet it and fiberglass it, so I filled that in, then glassed over it, and it kind of doesn't look like anything because the glass becomes transparent. But the oil-based stuff worked great on it.
Yeah. It depends on on the foam, it's a little different because if you're glassing over the paper, I think the paper can delaminate if you're using the oil-based, whereas it won't do that as quickly if you're using the water-based. But in either event,
I'll disagree because this whole Minwax thing started with Chad Capper taking the oil-based polyacrylic on the white foam board, and the oil-based would not lift the paper because I originally I thought it was a water-based adhesive that they had used to put the paper on. Come to find out, they just heated on there.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it was about the oil-based, it didn't lift the paper. You put water-based stuff on that stuff, and it'll peel right up.
Nice. And do you just do one layer, or do you do multiple layers?
It depends on what you're trying to do. For a foam plane, a Dollar Tree foam board plane, I would only do one layer.
Right.
It doesn't add a whole lot of strength to it, but it does allow a much better surface for painting, and it gives you ding protection. But it's, I mean, you can paint, the painting surface is phenomenal once you're done. Mm-hmm. But what you want to do is you want to peel that crap paper off and then apply the fiberglass. You don't want the paper to be any part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want a glass of vegan. With a success setup.
It will be fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely do it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Patrick, have you been flying, buddy?
I have been. I was actually out a couple hours ago. I took my Radiant out. We had some pretty stout northwest winds today, but I put a video camera on top of the Radiant and tossed it up, and I caught like 2 really decent thermals, even in the wind, so that made me happy. I'm starting to get pretty consistent with when I go out and being able to catch a thermal in the right conditions, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself with that. Other than that, it was so much fun playing around with the wind with the Radiant. I've had my Sky Surfer up plenty of times in high winds, and it's a phenomenal high wind airplane. Haven't really done that with the Radiant, but the Radiant was just a blast with it. I mean, it handled the wind no problem whatsoever. Still able to catch thermals, and I even have a video clip of me catching a couple of thermals. So I'm pretty happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Cool.
I've been flying the Bushwhacker behind me too.
Oh, nice. Looks good.
Oh
Thanks.
yeah.
It's a strange airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's weird.
I found that too much rudder is
Yeah,
just
there's some bad tendencies with that plane.
Don't over rudder it. I learned that the hard way.
No.
I'll get to that when I start my story. But go on, Pat.
It also does this weird thing where it'll like, I don't know, you're flying along, all of a sudden it just isn't a knife edge all of a sudden, and I'm thinking that's something to do with rudder. You know, maybe I'm hitting rudder and not really realizing it or something.
That might just be you, buddy.
Might be. I'm not a 3D pilot, so I don't fly it like a 3D airplane. I want it to fly like an STOL airplane. I still haven't gotten the landings worked out. It's very weird. Is all I can say.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Put more expo on your rudder, bud. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah, and I noticed too much rudder will twist that thing into a stall that almost stalls the back of the plane.
Yeah.
Like pitches it over. So
Yeah,
I learned that kind of the hardware myself, Joel.
Yeah, you absolutely lose all elevation control if you give that way too much rudder input.
Is it almost it almost has the same exact dimensions as the Twisted Hobbies Crack Beaver? So I set my Bushwhacker up the same way, put a lot of expo in it and give it a lot of throws, and I was like, oh, this is not going to work.
Yeah. No, I love that Twisted Hobbies plane, man. That thing looks fantastic. There were a couple of them at Flight Fest, and I was just drooling over them.
There's a bigger version, right?
That new one.
Yeah, they have
that Fokker they got.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Yep.
That was
the 3-wing.
strange. The flat 3-wing. Yeah.
That's how we do some 3D with that.
Well, that's what they're doing with it, man. I can't wait. I think I'm going to buy one.
Yeah.
I think so.
Can't go wrong with Twisted Hobbies.
Yeah,
I know, man. They make some good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
So my turn.
Yeah. No, what you been up to?
Well, so I haven't actually been up to too much. I've only. Yeah, that's me. So I haven't been doing a whole lot of flying. I did maiden my Bushwhacker finally.
Finally.
Nice.
I know, right? So I actually maidened it out in the back behind where I live in the townhouse community. There is, of course, here in Florida, we have overflow areas. So there's an overflow lake bed right behind the swimming pool here, and it gives a really nice little area that I've flown like my mini Sportster in the past, and I've taken the FT Vector out there and done all kinds of stuff with that. So I thought, you know what, it's a 3D airplane. If I need to get it out of a tight space, I can probably bank and yank it around. Oh boy, was I wrong. So I was flying, so I maidened it, and very quickly realized on the first flight that I had my ailerons reversed, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I set them up correctly, and then I thought, oh crap, no I didn't. And I managed to put it into the little swamp area that has been accumulating thanks Florida rain. Rescued it while losing a shoe, so that was fun. And then took it back up and around. And as I'm flying around, one of my neighbors is flying his DJI Phantom. And I thought, oh, this is going to be great. I have a flying buddy I can get to fly around. And I almost ran the plane into his Phantom because the way he was flying it, he was kind of hovering kind of at a diagonal to me, and I'm bringing the Bushwhacker around, and I'm like, oh, crap, I need more rudder. Oh, crap, I need more rudder. And just like you said, Steve, if you give too much, that tail will fall faster than the wing will. The tail dropped out, and so it just kind of did a skidding slide, and I managed to recover it with a whole ton of throttle. But it was, I'll tell you what, the plane is amazing for one thing and one thing only, and that is bashing the crap out of it around the sky. It's definitely forcing me to learn rudder a lot more than I was before. So from that aspect, I'm very, very glad.
Yeah, that's great.
Because you definitely need to use coordinated turns. If you don't, it's not going to turn right. You need to be at a damn near 90-degree turn to bank that airplane around because of how short coupled it is, and as a high wing, it's not a good combination. So you definitely need to use rudder. So from that aspect, it's great. I would, of course, love doing the aerobatics with it. So I've doing rolling harriers and big lazy loops, which is a ton of fun. But that's all the flying I've been doing. I've been having some trouble with my mini quad, and I'm going to be doing some work on that. But that's really all the flying I've done. I've got a tiny whoop coming in the mail. I'm waiting on a newbie drone B-Brain, so I'm in the next round of orders for that. So I have a B-Brain coming in, which means I'll be able to do some really fun things with that. And other than that, yeah, just some other small side projects, which I already let the guys know about. I'm working on a very secret project right now that Nick is going to help me with. So thank you, Nick. And other than that, yeah, it's been fun and games around here. And of course, we're getting into the wet season, so the chances of me flying on the weekends are diminishing, annoyingly enough.
I love secret projects.
Yeah, well, you already... well, if you want to build one too, I know you are more used to building the bigger stuff, but if you want to shrink down anything, let me know, and I'll buzz you into my little project that I'm working on.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
the small guy is the one that's shrinking everything down.
And the bigger guy is blowing everything up. Yeah, well, you expect anything less with the call sign Baby Brit?
No. Not at all.
Everything must be miniaturized. And not just because of the name, mind you. It's also because I am limited on space, so I need planes that are small.
Yeah.
Boy. Good times, though.
See for me, they're too big. I just crash them. I mean, like the 200% spit. I took that in.
Yeah.
I really got to take my. I made that smaller version of the SE5. I really got to take that and try and get a document together to get an article and put it out there, because that thing was insane. That thing just took off and landed by itself just about. It was ridiculous. And that would be really cool for somebody to check out and try it out. The only problem is I wanted to actually, I 3D printed connecting pieces to make the landing gear, and there's a lot of angles in, it's a biplane, so there's a lot of angles in what holds the top wing onto the fuselage. So I wanted to kind of 3D print those and just like put that out on Thingiverse or whatever, or tell people, you know, go get it printed somewhere, and you could use, I wanted to be able to use the booms that were kind of set up for the Electro Hub, so guys could just flush cut those, you know, and just put it all together. But it's been you know, you guys know as well as we do, you know, the podcast for me, it takes at least 2 days of my time to do the recording and then the editing and all that stuff. So time is golden.
Yes, it is. For the most part, I mean, we're very lucky. I mean, Mike did an amazing job last week of providing excellent recordings. So I only had to do an intro, outro, and we were done last week. So it took me all of 5 minutes to do the edit last week. But I know this one is going to probably take a little bit, because we had some fun at the beginning.
There's a lot
at the
of
beginning.
There's a lot of recording that we weren't recording the podcast for.
Yes. Yeah. And of course, you guys will get to enjoy that in our usual preamble for the show. So enjoy the beginnings. They will be a continuing trend on the Flight Test Community podcast for the near future, because I really enjoy pulling the best of those mini clips and throwing them at the front of the recording.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Nice.
There have been some real gems, haven't there, guys? So, all good. So we're ready to move on to our main show topic, Steve?
Yeah, what is our main show topic?
That's a good question.
Flight Fest Part 3 for us, and the recap for you guys, because we had some fun, all of us.
Yeah.
I've saved talking about the heli flight until we were chit-chatting with you guys, and I know Patrick has been chomping at the bit for the last month and a half, wanting to talk about the events Saturday night. So
I thought he wanted to talk about how great the coffee was in the morning.
Yeah. Me too.
You know what? There were these guys that, like, I was just randomly walking by, and they said, "Hey, we have coffee. Do you want any?" And I said yes, and then I drank their coffee. So thank you, Kevin. That was awesome.
No problem, dude. Anytime.
I must have still been in the tent, passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
probably.
up kind of early making the coffee.
Oh, either that or left on volunteering.
Yeah, you did. You did.
But
a
I'll
lot
tell
of-
you, let me ask you guys right off the bat. You were talking about small things and big things, dude.
small things and big
Small
things.
things and big things. Let me ask
You
you.
know, wait a second. Before we continue, well, I'm just going to pause that right there. So I'm going to make you laugh, right? The last 3 show topics in order of names is Let's Get Woody, Size Doesn't Matter, and Big Things and Small Things.
I think you got it.
We got it.
That was unintentional. But no, I actually wanted to ask because I came to Flight Test as a big thing. I was like pushing some serious density, and I must have lost 10 pounds walking around that place. I wanted to know if you guys lost any weight.
Yes.
I've been trying to keep it off, man.
Dude, I put on so much weight while I was there. No, seriously. I was dehydrated, so my body was just holding the water. It's retaining water. I probably pissed out 10 pounds after I got home, if not more. But dude, I ballooned up. I look at pictures of me from then. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, because I'm in that
funny.
one video, and I'm like, man, I was heavy, and then I came home. I swear I must have lost at least 10 pounds. I mean, Nick's skinny to begin
It's
with.
video, you gain
he was
weight on
cranking.
TV.
He was
Yeah,
cranking.
no,
around like 10 miles a day.
I definitely did not lose or gain anything. The same stinking 135 that I left with. That's what you get when you're 5'4", everybody.
I actually
really
lost
awkward
weight.
now.
I think I was 135 in the 6th grade. Sorry, Joel.
No,
I
that's
didn't-
taken.
I didn't lose or gain any weight, but I did gain gout that weekend after.
Oh, ow.
Oh no.
Yikes.
I get out of the RV and we're at Kevin's place, and I'm, my fiance came to pick me up, and I'm like, I get out the van, I'm like, ooh, why does my ankle just feel like all swollen and painful? And yeah, that night before we had it was like hot dog dinner, so it was just all nitrates.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but I got some
I'm
nice
sorry.
help for that.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, so I'm fine.
And I'm telling you,
Yeah.
if I don't say anything else this podcast, it was great to see you guys there. And I think
Yes.
next year I'm just coming out. I don't even know if I'm going to bring a plane. I'm just going to come out and hang out with you guys for like 2 days. Because I
Well,
think
guarantee
flying
I won't
was
bring very many.
flying was kind of scary at some point.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
trust me.
barely flew anything. And matter of fact, I've been to all of the Flight Fests, and I probably haven't flown more than 3 times at each of them. But
Oh wow!
because I'm just enjoying the experience and hanging out with people and talking to people and just standing back and watching what's happening. I haven't flown in a combat yet because I just enjoy standing back and watching the mayhem.
Yeah.
Yes, you
and
do.
then the lack of mayhem as everyone tries to hit each other but fails miserably.
Yes.
Hey.
Exactly.
I had a chance. I had a fighting chance.
Let's talk about combat. Let's talk about Kevin and his 200% P-51 combat.
51.
Please.
That was
Kevin.
awesome.
Yeah, that
Kevin,
was pretty
share
insane.
us your experience. What, from your perspective, how was that? What was going through your mind?
Well, I started on a podcast by saying, "Hey, maybe I'll throw that in combat." And then by the time combat came up at Flight Fest, everybody's like, even Josh Bixler was like, "Hey, I heard you putting a big Mustang in combat." I'm like, "Well, geez, I guess I got her now." Since he said it.
Nice.
I'm sorry for that, but I'm pretty sure I was going around telling everyone. It's like, you need to
So
say
was I.
something. We need to
So was
convince
I.
him.
Yeah, everyone.
Instigating.
Everyone. Hey, yeah, he might put that in combat. Let him know.
But it was a fitting end for that plane because that plane was, I don't know, it was 2014.
That was the third year. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the third year.
Third
Yep.
year. That was 2014 when I went down there. And
Yep.
I can remember saying, I got to build something, crazy for Flight Fest. It's Flight Fest. for crying out loud. So I remember thinking, well, nobody's done a 200% Mustang. I think the Mustang had just come out, and I didn't even build a regular size one. I just blew the plans up and started cutting and hot gluing, and then I painted it for the next year. And then this year the combat was pretty funny, man. It was just crazy.
Well, and
sliding backwards for 10 seconds.
Yeah. Huge tail slide. Oh.
Yeah.
What was really awesome about that too was the fact that David Vindestall is the one that was calling out combat that day.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Can we talk about the number of planes and quadcopters that you took out during that as well?
I think it was actually one of each when it boiled down to it. I might have nicked a few others, but
no, there was 2 quads, I thought.
No, just the one. Just
Kevin. One nicked your wing though. Yeah, right.
One nicked the wing, and
the other one got stuck in your landing gear.
One got stuck up underneath, and kind of like rocked back and forth.
He
awesome.
He broke a prop trying to get to you.
Yeah, that was a good video. They got that in the I think in one of the flight test recaps.
I think
recaps took it right off.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Then I did my crappy victory roll because that thing didn't roll too good.
It was awesome.
It was great.
Yeah, and then if they would have continued that video right after that, where I kind of like banked to the right and did a victory roll, I came banking around again and I cut right through somebody's wing.
Arrow, I think.
Yeah, FT arrow, like just tore it right in half. And then that was it. I was trying to hit that other large sized plane that was out there.
Bob,
yeah.
Bob was epic.
Yeah,
Bob was epic. So, did anyone actually mention the story of how Bob came to be named Bob?
No, I haven't heard that story.
It was great.
Wasn't it? It was Stefan announcing.
No, okay. So it was David Vindestall, the first, very, very first combat, and it was the Thursday morning combat, and they were flying. Or was it Friday? No, Friday. I'm sorry, it was Friday. It was Friday morning combat. And so the planes are all in the air, and all of a sudden, like it was one of the it took off late, but they threw up this cargo twin with this ridiculous polyhedral wing, and it had 4 engines on it, and it's flying around, and David's calling it, and they're like, all right, this is boring. Let's all target just one airplane to make this more interesting. Oh, wait. There's that giant cargo plane. Let's call it Bob. Everyone target Bob. And it just all was hell from there.
Nice.
Next time you flew, it had Bob written on the side.
Yeah.
Nice.
And blue painter's tape too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I got to witness Bob's demise though. The last night he was shoved into a garbage can.
Oh, poor Bob.
Oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't even kept for prosperity?
Nope. He got the electronics ripped out and thrown away.
Oh, sad day.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice plane to keep as a hangar queen. Oh well.
Yeah, that's like, hang it up in your garage and you got stories to tell about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I got another kind of sideline story to that. I hadn't seen Dave since NEF of, I think, 2014. And yeah, it was 2014. And I told Dave at that time, I was like, dude, I'm going to enter. And I was just beginner pilot, and I had the old Fogey Speedster or Sportster. I don't know what they call it. I think they call it the old Speedster. That's like the lower wing old Fogey. I had that, and I was flying that around indoors at NEF, and they were going to do combat. And I said to Dave, I'm going to enter that in combat. And he was like, yeah, man, do it. And I'm like, I'm not that good of a pilot. I don't know how it's going to. And I wound up hitting nobody. And he was like, oh, that was kind of like anticlimactic. So at Flight Fest, I was like, I'm going to throw that big thing up, and just because Dave was there, and I hadn't even seen him. So after I got done with it, I said, dude, that was because you were here, man. I had to make it special. He came all the way over.
What is Nick up to? Nick's trying to steal your thunder there, Kevin. Well,
is he?
Oh,
he's got his Spitfire.
He's got a Spitfire with signatures all over it.
Yeah.
That's a point too.
Apparently, I need to apologize, Nick, because I was under the impression that you were having that thing signed everywhere.
Oh, so no, I was. No, you're not the only one. You're not the only one on the top. Don't worry.
Yeah, but he started it.
I started it.
Yeah.
I meant to apologize because I know you wanted to hang it on the wall sideways. So my bad.
Oh no, it's more than perfect. I ran out of room. Actually, if we want to blame anyone, David Vindestal signed it and took up the most space. So
You did
his
design it,
signature's
so.
his signature's the
He's
biggest on it.
allowed.
Hey, I gotta
Mm.
give Nick props for doing a great build on that, man. He could steal my thunder anytime, man. That
Dude,
kid,
that thing,
he knows
that
what he's
thing
doing with.
out. I mean, it's like,
Yeah,
you know what it reminds me of when I was holding it? It's like that laminate flooring where, you know, they take layers of paper, and then when they're done with it, they compress it, and it's like it's like wood. That's what that felt like. I mean, my gosh.
Yeah. I don't know. And
That's-
I've tried recovering the foam board a few times, and I can't get it as good as this.
No, you did an excellent job. And what is just the brown craft paper, right?
No, this is red rosin paper.
Oh, red rosin. Nice. I was
Mhm.
wondering what you had done with it. Very cool.
Yep, and then
So-
just a water-based polyacrylic.
Yeah, see, it's the famous thing that everybody uses around
And
here. We love it.
It's stout, I can tell you that, man. I wouldn't want to get hit in the head with that thing.
No, not at all.
Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. Let's talk about my heli flight. We had a blast Saturday afternoon, late afternoon. So we've been talking back and forth about this for a while. I've been, to say, bugging Steve about the complexities and physics of 3D heli flying for the better part of ever since you guys started the show. So I've been giving you grief about why helicopters even work, how they function, all of that good stuff. And I don't know, I just said, you know, we're going to be meeting up at Flight Fest. You know, it'd be really neat to get behind the controls of a helicopter.
Yep.
And you're like, yep, we can do that.
we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
Exactly.
It won't be my heli, but we'll make it happen.
Exactly. And
Whose
so I come to
helicopter was
find
it?
out.
It's yours.
I
was
come to
mine.
find out it's Kevin's. Yeah, I didn't even. And it's funny because I was thinking about it. I was like, wait. I'm pretty sure I said
comes
that I
Darth
was
Vader.
going to be.
Yeah. Static City.
Damn it.
I guess. Whoa.
Bugs Bunny to Earth. Over.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Wow. That's a really cool filter.
Major Tom.
Anything you guys want me to say while Darth Vader is currently in progress?
That's the NSA, dude. They heard a British voice over the internet.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, good times. Good
Hey, you're back.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
My router refreshed that fast?
That's good.
That was the fastest it's ever happened. Anyway,
Don't
okay.
complain. Keep going.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I just got the time for the edit down, so we're good. And Patrick, are you sanding over there?
Yeah.
Damn it, Patrick! Stop sanding!
Squirrel.
Can you hear that?
Yes, of course we can hear it! Stop sanding!
God, you're killing
Here,
me.
I'll
Pat.
fix him. I'll mute him.
Yeah, thank you. Alright, so you can carry on sanding now if you want. Anyway, so... he's ridiculous, squirrel. Anyway, so apologies for that brief intermission, ladies and gentlemen, while Darth Vader was present. So I come to find out that I was ending up flying your what helicopter was it, Kevin?
That's an Oxy.
Oh, it was
heli.
the Oxy.
Yeah, so it's the Oxy 3 Sport, right?
It was a sport,
Oxycodone.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
255. No, he wasn't flying on that.
no.
At that time.
I actually had control of the thing. So we were using some Spectrum controllers that were buddy boxed up, and Steve was kind enough to take the helicopter off, and then we matched our throttle, and it was all mine from there.
Yep.
So what was it like? Because have you buddy boxed a heli before, Steve?
No. This was my first time.
And how many times did you have to give me or retake control?
Did I I don't think I took
I
control,
don't think
right?
you did.
Nope.
No,
only,
I think you
only,
did a
only
fantastic
to
job.
take off. Only to
Take
take off
off
and land.
And to land, yes, yeah. Just because that part gets a little sketchy if you're not used to hitting throttle hold and all this stuff. But yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you let him crash it, is what you're saying.
No.
So-
No, he flew for what, 3 minutes?
He flew the whole flight.
And he did a great job.
And not at there wasn't a moment where I was like, "Ooh, I need to take control." I would just kind of talk to him, say, "Yeah, a little left, a little right, bring it back." That's it. And he had it. He did a great job. Joel did an awesome job flying that thing.
Awesome.
It was really fun. I mean, first of all, think Whirling Blades of Doom. I don't know how you three do it. I really don't. It is awe-inspiring at how technical those machines are. But then getting behind the controls of something like that and feeling how locked in that machine is and how responsive it is. I mean, you said just be careful of the control inputs when it comes to heli flying. And I said to myself, okay, well, think about how sensitive the quad can be in air mode and just basically extrapolate that. And I said, okay, keep it a set distance away from myself. If it starts drifting, bring it back gently. If it starts moving away, bring it back gently. But not to overcompensate, because one thing I've heard time and time again is everyone saying with a helicopter, you've really got to be careful. If you overcompensate, then the heli can do some really bad things really quickly.
Yeah.
And sadly, Nick has
unfortunately, Nick knows today.
that all too well today. Sorry, buddy.
Fred's saying we shouldn't be talking about crashing helis
Oh, why?
because we're gonna jinx him.
That's
Fred's
right.
another one.
You bit Fred with the bug.
Yes, he stung him, and he now has a heli.
And I'm not gonna lie, after Flight Fest, I was looking at Heli Direct at an Oxy and at Oxy on the Oxy 3 website, because I know that the new isn't it the Oxy 4 that's coming out here.
There's an Oxy 2 and an Oxy 4 coming out soon.
Yeah.
So a 200 size and a 450 size.
See, the 200 size, I feel like that's something that I could get behind, because it's small enough that it can kind of go anywhere, but it's big enough to kind of learn the basics.
Yeah.
But still, it frightens the life out of me as to how technical it is.
Yes.
That's not what frightens the life out of me. It's all them whirling blades that frightens me.
Scalping myself.
You get used to it.
Wait till you see blades go flying when you crash.
Oh, yeah.
Steve is familiar with that, I believe.
Yeah. I've had blades just shoot out off the heli.
Yeah, his last crash was the worst I've ever seen with his Oxy. Just he had a blade come all loose and come right off the spindle, and it basically just disintegrated in midair.
Yeah, it just
1 minute, gone the next.
boom, puff.
Yeah. Did you ever release that video as like a slow-mo?
I did. What did I? Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. I'll link it to the show notes. But I mean, the quality is terrible. It's just me basically playing back the GoPro footage, zoomed in on my Mac on my TV, so it's very pixelated, and then me holding my iPhone to the TV. So the quality sucks, but you get the idea, because you see the slow motion where I flip the heli and I'm flying inverted. And then as soon as I flip it back, it just goes poof. To the ground. Yep.
Yeah, that was. I think I remember seeing the full flight footage, and I was like, "What the heck just happened?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty entertaining watching that go down. But I have to say a big thank you to you guys, because one, you let someone who's never gone anywhere near a helicopter actually fly one, which more credit to you, Kevin, for letting me fly one of yours.
Dude, you couldn't have smashed it any worse than I've ever smashed it. So
Yeah.
I wasn't worried at all. I was like, nah, no problem.
And it was great, getting to. And one thing about this hobby, and that's where Flight Fest is kind of the best place to do this. It really gives you the place to kind of experience the different aspects of the hobby. I think I participated in every aspect except for free flight.
Nice.
Because I was able to do some multi-rotor stuff. I was able to do some fixed-wing stuff. I was able to do the heli stuff with you guys. I even flew some DLGs with Dan Cruz and Joshua Orchard. Not Joshua Orchard, Josh Fenn. See, I pulled the Bixler just then.
Yes, you did.
And it was phenomenal. I
That's great.
really, really enjoyed that aspect of it. But Flight Fest was a blast, you guys. And meeting, being camped so close to you guys was awesome because we got to collaborate, we got to hang out, we actually got to spend a real good amount of time just shooting the breeze, which was great.
I got coffee.
Patrick got coffee.
I got
Very
coffee.
important.
I wish I had more time in my day to actually sit down with you guys at Flight Fest.
Yeah, you were slightly busy.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said at one point
20,000 steps a day.
on our recap, I said if you have a picture of Flight Fest and Nick isn't in it, it's a rare photo because he was like everywhere.
Yeah.
No kidding. Hey, you are a beast, man.
Yeah.
Straight up beast mode.
Absolutely. Beast mode enabled. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I gotta say though, I had so much fun getting out there and being able to, someone's coming through the front gate. I'm one of the first people they get to talk to, and
Yep.
one of the last people they get to talk to if I'm shuttling them out and they're leaving or whatever. Yeah, it was good.
It's fun, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was. I just from my perspective, this was an amazing experience at Flight Fest this year. The first year was just I don't have words for that either.
It's special. That one will
always be very special. But this one was so awesome and so exhausting for me at the same time.
Yeah.
I was done at the end of the thing. I mean, I was beat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You were sleeping half the time when I walked past the tent.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I know, Patrick, you really want to get into the events of Saturday night. So what exactly happened while I wasn't there?
Well, Joel, it was so much fun. It's so much ridiculousness happened. And Mike, you're going to have to help me out here. And Nick, were you there too? I don't remember.
Nick was there for most of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. And so we were hanging out for a while down at our camp, and a bunch of people were doing night flying and stuff. And then the Bixler boys, Mikey and Jonah, they came down.
Noah?
No.
Jonah?
Yeah, I said that, and that didn't sound right.
That's
Mike
not
and
bad.
Noah.
Josh and Jen are going to wonder where that third one's at.
Sorry, Nick Stud. I butchered your name, buddy. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I feel really bad now. Anyway, they were out there, and there was a bunch of other kids that they were running around with. James Bixler was there as well. And who was it? Was it Ben that brought those LED light-up whirligigs?
I don't know
had 'em.
who brought those. I think Noah had them.
Okay, so whoever had them, that was a genius. So they were like little helicopter things, and they had LEDs on them. You launch them with a rubber band, and they fly up, and they whistle on the way up, and then propellers pop out, and they just kind of swirly-gig down. So, of course, that quickly became, let's try to hit the airplanes flying.
Oh, that's where that photo came from.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I got to say this, and I hope this guy, that if he's listening to this, I hope he doesn't take it the wrong way. It was pretty entertaining. So it was me. I think Mike was there, Ben Greenwald, and Mike from After Hours.
Mike Coolins.
Yeah, and Mike had a green laser pointer. And,
Mike Coolins did.
yeah, and he was pointing it at planes as they flew by. Well, there was these two guys standing there, and Mike pointed the laser pointer at the plane, and this one guy, he was a fairly decent-sized guy. He turns around and says, "No, don't do that." And Ben Greenwald, who is an even bigger guy, he looks at it and says, "Are you talking to us?" You had to be there, but it was pretty funny.
He looked at him. He says, "Do you have any idea who you're talking to?"
Yeah.
Something like that.
I remember that. I remember that. That was good.
Boy.
Oh my God! And so, and we're like, what's going to happen? Are we going to blind the pilot in the plane? What is the issue here?
If the FAA is listening, this is RC aircraft.
Yes,
Well,
remote control only.
Right. And I really think this guy expected to turn around and see some kids, and that's why he reacted the way he did. That's kind of how I expected. But
well, when I first saw the green laser, that's the same thing I thought, because I was looking for the little 12, 13-year-old kid that was doing it. And then I walked over and saw it was Mike Coolins, and I said, "Oh, well, I was going to come over and holler at the kid, but I guess I'll leave you alone."
We were just howling, laughing. And then we made our way up to Sean Corcoran's, Sean and Mark Swan's, the brown turd, his big RV.
Yeah, his big
And he
1976 RV.
Right. He had a fire going there, and we were all out on the flight line with these little rubber band whirligig shooty things. And I think it was James Bixler. He tied about 5 of these rubber bands together, and now he had this mega one. And Chip Hunter, Phenom pilot, and Blake Ziegler, they're local to me. They're awesome guys. Chip was flying his wing, and he was just poking it around. Except this bastard.
Whoa.
He would have this thing come in, poke, and as soon as those kids got ready to fire, he'd gun it and just go vertical, and they'd miss, and they'd be like, ah. Well, at this point in the evening, I don't know what time it was. It was probably 11:30 or so. I had alcohol in me.
Adult beverages.
Adult beverages.
So I went ninja on this thing, okay? Nobody expects to have a black T-shirt thrown up at their airplane at night.
No way.
I was about to say, no one expects a Spanish Inquisition.
That is true as well.
I was gonna say no one expects the Irish ninja.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm standing out there with my shirt off and my white pasty fat belly. And every time Chip comes by, I throw my T-shirt up. I miss that dang airplane every single time. But I did get.
Is that why nobody has a T-shirt on cops?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're all a bunch of drunk Irishmen.
They're drunk, they're Irish, and they're throwing their T-shirt at airplanes.
Yeah, they're my people. But I did sneak up behind Chip and grab his butt.
No.
Anyway, somehow, in the course of the night, I twisted my ankle. I don't remember where or how. I'm guessing I fell in a groundhog hole. Yeah. But that wasn't an issue until the next day, because I certainly wasn't feeling it then. So then we ended up sitting around the campfire and BSing, and there are these guys flying some kind of lit-up wing or something at night, and this guy, like, slams it into the ground, and then, like, it's a kind of 1, 2, 3, and he calls, "Landing!" We all out. We're laughing our butts off. and at this time, it's me, Mike, Nick was there. I don't know if Merritt was there. He was probably there. It's Paul Jennings. I think
Eric
Jordan
Monroe,
Waters, Eric Monroe, the
Chris
Richmond boys,
Roncaglione,
Chris, Mike.
God,
who else?
Oh, I don't even
Was
remember
Wayne
now.
there? I think Wayne was there too.
No, I think Wayne went home.
Okay, but anyway, there was a bunch of us sitting around there, and a minute or two later, this guy comes walking over, and we're talking, and he just, like, out of the middle of nowhere says, "Were you laughing at my friend?" And
We're
all
like,
turned and
yeah.
looked at him, and he said, "Yes," and we just kept carrying on the conversation like nothing happened.
Oh, nice.
Well, I guess after he realized that he wasn't going to really get a reaction out of us, he and his friends came over and started hanging out with us. And they were from Poland. They were Polish guys, and I still don't know if they were really mad at us or if he was joking with us, because there were a couple of times in the night when he seemed to get a little tense, and we completely ignored it. It just kept going on.
Was that before or after you said these two Polacks walk into a bar?
Was it? Hey, Pat, was it this guy?
I don't know. It was dark, and I had blueberry moonshine.
I don't know if it was or not, but he kind of looks like him.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think overall they were good guys. I think they were kind of joking. Because why else would you just come sit down and hang out?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's them. I know it is.
Okay.
Because there they are.
Okay.
And that's them. Yep.
That's funny.
I'm like stalking them on Facebook.
No, actually, I'm friends with that guy on Facebook, and I didn't realize it until after the fact.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Okay, so dude, if you're out there listening, I hope you weren't offended by us, because we were just having a good time.
Oh, they ended up having fun.
And your dude called landing like a good 30 seconds after you crashed.
Yeah, I did. And that's what was funny.
Yeah. Oh my God! And then Eric Monroe started doing voices. He does great impressions.
Oh, the Hank Hill is the best.
Hank Hill is great, and then he does the throwback. He did, was it Mr. Robinson from Beavis and Butthead, which was kind of the original Hank Hill character.
Yeah, whatever that guy's name is, I don't remember.
God. And then what else was he doing? He was doing some like
he was doing all kinds of movies.
90s movie, something about adding water to this milk to, I don't know what.
Oh, that was Friday.
Fridays, yeah. Boy, you better run down that milk.
I was around for Friday, so wait a second. I'm trying to remember when that happened.
No, the movie.
Oh.
No. It was the movie Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, now you confused
with,
me. Remember how old I
Ice
am?
P or Ice Cube?
Ice Cube.
Hold on.
Yeah, I knew you picked up on that one, Kevin.
Come on, Joel. Pretty sure I'm younger than you, and I've seen that movie I don't know how many times.
And I'm British.
But he's British. Yeah.
And at this time, it was like 1:30 in the morning. And we were howling and carrying on. We were being so obnoxious, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to sleep like 20 feet away from you guys.
Well, you should have gotten up and had fun hanging out with us.
I should have. Those adult beverages sounded good.
Well, Stephen Rosema, what did he say a few minutes ago? Something about... Anyway. Apparently
I'm pretty sure that was Fred that said Dawn blueberries.
Blueberries, yeah.
Actually, maybe it was blackberry. Whatever it was is good, but I had it sitting on a chair next to me, and one of the Polish guys sat on it.
Oh, jeez.
Not good. Not good.
That's alcohol abuse.
Yes, it is.
So we were camped pretty close to you guys.
Yeah, we saw.
We had that lady that she had a big grill set up, and I think she was feeding like some of the school kids during the day that were coming out. And it was funny because at one point in the morning she made breakfast, and then she was scraping the grill and she was cleaning it and was going, and I yelled out, "Is that Patrick working on a plane?"
Oh, God.
But it's those simple things. Nobody's around. I'm laughing like an idiot. And I'm like, oh, this is great.
The sad truth is, he probably was.
Oh my God. Everybody knows what Patrick does.
His call sign.
He's either sanding an airplane or snoring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to Sandy Snore. That's what we need to start using as your call sign, Pat.
Okay, I have pictures from that night. First, let me.
There's
Oh,
adult.
yeah, that's the thumb where he
Oh,
smacked
the
it with
thumb.
one of those
So-
whirligig things.
Yeah, well, I
Oh,
hit myself with
jeez.
one of those whirligigs. They hurt.
That looked quite
Didn't,
nasty. I'm quite
Oh my God.
surprised.
Didn't one of those kids with like the 5 rubber band? It wasn't Noah, but someone I seen him. They pulled that thing back, and I think it was Noah pulled it back, and he's sitting there
Yeah.
like holding it above his head, trying to hold it still, and it just smacked his hand. Something terrible.
Jeez.
And here's the proof. That night.
Hang on just a minute. Let me try to grab
Yeah.
that.
If you want to grab that, then that way
Let
we
me
can
see if
post
I
it up.
can.
That's gonna be a low res image.
Yeah, that's pretty.
All
You're gonna have
good.
to send that to me.
How about I just?
It'll go up. It'll go up in the
Or-
show notes.
yeah.
So no worries.
Yeah,
so we'll
put
have
it out
these.
there on the Google Doc.
Yep.
Cool.
Please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other good highlights from Flight Fest that we want to bring up?
Well, it's funny. We did the recap show, and our buddy that we used to have on the podcast when we started, Jeff, he said he finally just listened to it, and he said it sounds like you guys had a good time, but not as much fun as the 2015. And I said, yeah, 2015 when it was the 3 of us in the camper, we didn't stop laughing the whole time, kind of like the experience you guys had Saturday night. I mean, we were just like picking on each other and just laughing and having a good time, and that was good in its own. But I said to him, but this year it was just like a giant family reunion. Like I was
Yeah.
so happy to see people and just talk to people. I must have talked to like at least I don't know how many people that came up and said, I listened to the show and I tried to keep notes and stuff like that, and it was just fantastic to see Mike and just everybody, man. And
Yep.
just everybody. I mean, you could go down the list, the guys on the forums that you knew, and everybody but Fred Provost.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Everybody but Fred,
So,
man.
well, here's the funny thing, right? So Fred lives about 4 hours away from me. So there was a conversation that was had between me, Dan Cruz, and Josh Fenn, and we all
Should have
said
kidnapped him.
I was about damn ready to. I'm telling you, and it's funny because I actually had a phone conversation with him on the way up to Flight Fest, and I said, Fred, I'm like an hour away from you. I can come grab you. He's like, but no, I can't because I'm the only one here. I'm like, where is the other guy that you run the camp with? And he was like, no, the guy can't run it on his own. I have to stay here for it. I'm like, Fred, trust him. It will be fine. I will take you to Flight Fest. He's like, no, I can't. I'm really sorry.
I think Fred. I think Fred's getting more.
Well, he's saying on the chat right now that he'd be unemployed and homeless. So
Yeah, that's true.
He's
a
got
park
trust
ranger.
issues.
He knows how to pitch a tent.
I tried. I'm sorry, Fred. But no, it was an amazing, and for the first time going to Flight Fest, it was outstanding. It was everything I hoped it would be, and then some. Because there were golden moments that I will never ever forget, and the fact that we were all so clustered, so close together. The night that I arrived, being guided in by a damn flying Radiant.
That was an
That's
amazing
crazy.
story, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, that was a great story.
That was amazing. The Radiant guided entry was probably one of the best moments from it. And then getting kicked in the head by Ben Greenwald. Thanks, buddy. Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
On the recap, but
It was talked about.
yeah. And also, just getting to hang out with people like Nerd Nick and getting to build with him, and Keegan and Dan Sponholes, getting to hang out with them a whole lot. And Keegan is wicked funny. He's got a sense of humor on him like nobody else I've known in the past.
That kid has his stuff together. I mean,
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
Great kid.
Can we put a collective congratulations, because he just got accepted into a college, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it
Yes.
North Dakota?
North Dakota
Yes.
U. Yep. So
Right.
congratulations.
Nice.
For aviation.
Big
Aviation, nice. Congrats.
Good, buddy.
Yeah.
Great
Between
job.
What really blows me away is these young kids that are so mature and so, way ahead of like me. I mean, I was a knucklehead when I was their age, and you know what I mean?
Hell, I'm still a knucklehead.
The other kid's that Paul Jennings, man. I talked to him. I would have sworn he was 28, 20. He's like, what, 18?
Yep, 18.
Or not even 18.
I think he's 17.
Yeah, and he just needs his check right, and he's good on a pilot's license already.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I was going to bring up Paul Jennings, Julian Walters, Sherman Hartman.
Is awesome. Yeah, Sherman's great.
I really enjoyed meeting those guys and hanging out with them. But Paul Jennings, we had a great moment where the three of us were having lunch. We were sitting around the food carts, and we were joking, and somehow came up like, Joel is the only person who's received, like, out of the three of us, Joel is, Mike and I are drunken Irish people, but Joel is the only one who has received complaints about his language.
Yeah.
And we're having this conversation, laughing about it, and 2 seconds later, Paul Jennings walks up, and he's the kid that made the
comment.
And we just fell out.
It was amazing.
And then after Saturday night, some of the things that he talked about, I was like, you better not ever complain about language again.
Oh, yeah.
Got Fred heckling me in the chat.
Oh,
yeah, I saw that.
Why are we not surprised? By the way, for those of you who aren't currently listening live along with us, and for the Freefall RC guys, I'm going to help you, Steve, with getting your live broadcast going, because I know you guys want to do something similar to us.
Yes.
We copy what the guys over at the now Angle of Attack podcast. So we have a chat window on a website that we built with a live Google Hangout stream, and we record the show locally on my laptop, but it goes out over the airwaves on YouTube, which is fantastic, and we get live feedback through the live chat that everyone is chatting along with us. So if you are listening live, hop on to Joel Cannon. That's joelcannon.wixsite.com/FT Community Podcast, and you can join in the fun with us who is chatting away. So yeah, I'll help you guys out, get the live streaming chats with us. But it was great meeting up with all the people who listen to the show. And I think, I don't know if you guys also experienced it too, but just walking up and down the lines, and I wouldn't even be the one talking, and I've got the accent, and Mike's standing next to me. We're walking down, and all of a sudden some of the guys are like, "Wait, is that Mike Finley from the Flight Test Community Podcast?" Yeah. I'm like. And you recognize?
I still can't believe that.
Oh no! Well, you have such a distinctive voice.
Yeah, your voice is very distinctive. But
I still can't get over just how many people. I mean, we couldn't walk 30, 40 feet, Joel, or even Patrick. I mean, anytime we walked down, I mean, it was amazing how quickly we got stopped, and even Patrick got called out a couple.
I did a couple times. They recognized my voice, and I don't think I have a distinctive voice in any way, shape, or form.
Did that guy come up and say, "Hey, Patrick, is this your shirt?"
Oh, that's great.
There's another possible name for the podcast.
Hell yeah! Is this your shirt?
He only did it because it reeks of whiskey sweat.
It follows in the same vein, so. That's funny.
I gotta say though, honestly, between you guys do have distinctive voices. You can kind of tell if you're paying attention, but nothing will pull you in faster than the after hours laugh.
yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Coolins. Yep. It's true.
That's a love it or hate it. There's some people I've talked to that are like, it blows my speakers out in the car when he laughs. I can't listen to that podcast. Everybody else is like, I know that laugh.
Yeah. I do my best to tone my laugh down because I know mine can be obnoxious at times, but Mike's is just that takes it to a whole new level of laughter.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta love Coolins though.
Yeah. I can't help but laugh when he laughs though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have
That
to.
dude is so funny.
It's contagious. I mean, then again, the second that Patrick or Mike laugh, I'm on the floor laughing too.
Well,
So,
that was Saturday night, though. I mean, as soon as Mike started laughing, Mike
We couldn't
Oh,
stop.
that's it. Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
Mike Finley was on the floor.
I was dying.
So contagious.
I'm telling
always-
you, my ribs, my stomach, everything
hurt.
just from listening to him laugh and laughing along with him. Because oh my god,
And I tell you what,
so funny.
if we could do a unrated podcast with those guys too, oh, we would have a good time.
Yeah.
I think they want to, right?
They're like,
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want anything recorded. They just want to hang out with us to do the adult one.
okay.
We'll just have all you guys come on our show, and it's explicit. So
Yeah, but the problem is I don't think Chris, Mike, Wayne, and those guys really want that known.
yeah, true.
They
Just
don't
how
want the
bad they
real
are.
selves.
They can use code names.
Steve, we'd have to scramble their voices like they do on, you know,
Yeah.
like 2020
Yeah,
or something.
2020, right?
Do you have the voice changer?
So I was drunk. Yeah, something like that.
And then you hear Mike laugh.
That was good.
You hear Mike laugh. Yeah.
Like, well, you hear that laugh. You
Those
with that
guys-
voice scramble.
Those guys are so cool, though, man. Like Chris will take
they're
an
fantastic.
hour of his time just to hang out and talk to you. So will Wayne. You know,
Yeah.
Wayne's running around like crazy.
Yeah, we
Oh,
smoke
God.
a
An
lot.
amazing bunch of people, man.
Yeah, they're
awesome.
cool.
Definitely.
Mhm.
I was hoping to get up there this fall, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not, but I'm going to still try. Chris and those guys invited me up to hang out for a weekend, and I want to try to do that if I can.
Oh yeah, you should, man.
Oh,
Totally.
God.
I'm trying to get
Yeah.
out. I'm trying to get out for a weekend with Jim Bixler and Eric coming up
Yep.
here next couple of months.
Well, yeah. If I get up to Ohio, man, we'll just make that a whole big thing. We'll come up there
Yeah.
like on Thursday afternoon or something.
Jealous.
Yeah, so we can go.
'Cause
fly
then
at
you'll
the
make
field
the
and all that.
Thursday. Yep, the Thursday evening. night
That's
flights that they do.
right.
Jealous.
There you go.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm
Yeah.
stuck down here in Florida. I'm just gonna organize a fly-in with Fred Provost, Josh, and Dan. That's an open invitation, you three.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, we got some good stuff. But no, so do you guys have because I know we're getting close to the 2-hour mark already.
No,
So
we got about a half hour.
yeah, hour and a half, hour and 45, I think is what
Oh.
I'm timing up.
Not even
So-
10 o'clock yet.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. What are other show topics that you guys wanted to chit chat about?
Well, we had this Google Doc. Did anybody ever do anything?
No, I
Well, see
I
it.
put some key points in there, but that was it. No one.
We're just ad-libbing.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I put a couple of things in there.
Go
Yeah.
for it, Mikey.
Well, I mean, well, I know one of the things that Nick put on there is like, what's next for everybody in the hobby? And I'll tell you, from our last podcast, when we had Scott Zimmerman on from Air Bears, he took his Part 107 and actually passed it. So congratulations to Scott.
Way to go, Scott.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I talked to him a little bit right afterwards and told him that I was probably going to do that over the winter, actually study and probably take that by spring so I can, if I want to hire myself out to do a little aerial videography, I can do that. So that's something that's going to be on the works this winter for me.
Nice.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, the funny thing about that, though, is, like, we were texting behind the scenes for some ideas and topics that we could talk about. And getting Scott Zimmerman on was, like, becoming, like, one of our topics we were really starting to talk about. A week later, here you guys are. Oh, yeah, we're going to have Scott Zimmerman on. All right.
Well, I had
hacked our phones.
I had been talking to him for what, Pat? Probably 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd really wanted him on for a while, and I kept talking to him about it, and he kept
And, oh
he
my
kept
gosh.
bugging me, going, man, when are you going to have me on?
He and Irby just killed.
Oh, they rocked it.
It's just like me saying, when are you guys going to have us on?
Yeah, kind of.
Guess what? Guess what? You don't have to do that anymore. Yay!
No, I
Yeah.
can go. So when are we
Well,
getting back
I'm
together?
going to be honest with you, guys. the Free Fall RC podcast needs to have him on because he's trying to push out as much as he can, and I know he would appreciate coming on and talking to you guys. So I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to him on the Facebook page. We'll get him on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know our listeners will kind of know some of it, but in one of our more recent episodes, I was doing some finals and I had a final project, and I ended up doing it on drones and stuff. And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to kind of get him on and get him to talk about some of the stuff, is because I had seen all the news articles and stuff that's going on through him, all the headaches he's having to deal with the FAA, and just so much crap.
Yeah, he's been going through a lot, but you know, he's pulled it through, and
Well,
he's such a good guy.
He seems to be really keeping his head together in a very stressful time for him. He's being patient. I think he knows that he's right. He has right on his side, and it's only a matter of time before the FAA comes around and sees things a little bit more reasonably.
Yeah.
Are you saying the government is going to be reasonable about something? Oh boy, there's a topic.
That is. And before we get there, yeah, right. And before we get there, how about we bounce this around? Steve, what have you got going on next in the hobby?
What do I have going next? I am going to be finishing another helicopter build. Heli. I'm going to buy a new 700 heli. I got a Goblin 380. Thank you, Anthony, my friend, hooking it up. I am going to make a Nightbird. So it's going to be my first attempt making night blades and lighting up a whole heli with LEDs so that I can fly at night.
Cool.
So basically that's going to be my next week or so working, spending.
Now that's going to be a 380 size, right?
Yes, 380 size. So it's like a 450 size, a little bit bigger. I don't know if this is the right bird to do this because it's not cheap to crash, and I have a feeling that ground's gonna sneak up on me real quick. So, but I'll give it a shot. It's I got a great deal on it. So if anything, if I do crash it, it'll just become spare parts for my normal 380. So I'm cool with that.
Everyone, just take a moment to laugh at Flying Monkey in the chat.
You saw that,
Actually, that's true. That is one name that hasn't come up in the show yet.
Yeah, I was about to
spelled it
mention
wrong.
And he spelled it wrong.
Maybe he spelled it wrong. Sorry, it's the wrong first name.
Isn't it with a K, a Y, an L, and an E?
Yes.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are listening to our show and not familiar with Freefall RC, Steve has a slight obsession with a gentleman by the name of Kyle
I do
Stacy.
not have an obsession with Kyle Stacy.
Does he have a man crush?
Oh my God!
You know, it's funny because we had a couple people come up to us at the last Fun Fly we were at and say, "Where does the Kyle Stacy come from?" And we both looked at each other and were like, "Where does that come from?" We've been saying that for like 2 months now, and we had to think about what episode it was on.
There was an episode where Steve just kept saying his name for some reason. Every sentence.
I didn't.
No, I think it was me who said something about it, and I said it, and I wanted to correct myself in the next podcast because if you listen to it, it almost,
Yeah, you said it 3 times, not me.
like I was making fun of him, and I wanted to make sure he didn't take it the wrong way, so I kind of corrected myself. Yeah, I have to go back and listen to that.
I can't remember the episode. I swear he's talking about like the Kyle Stacy edition helicopters. So like he says the name a couple times, like not in a row, but he says it a couple times in
the episode, right?
No, not in the episode, but it was like a sentence with Kyle in it, a sentence with Kyle in it, a sentence with, and it was just like that. And that's like how the joke started.
And Fred wants me to put a ding in every time he says it.
Yeah, it was
edit
a
in a
comment from a
ding.
listener. It wasn't even Fred's writing it in chat room, and he's correct. Yeah. It was a comment from a listener, our listener Russ, Russ Cox, who said something about it. And then as a joke, I was like, all right, Kyle Stacy, Kyle Stacy, Kyle Stacy. There you go. Here it's in this episode now.
That was it.
There we go. So now we all bust your chops about it, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. In fact, I'm actually selling my Kyle Stacy helicopter, and I won't actually have any KC editions anymore. But one thing real quick, I want to give a shout out to Chris Rybert, who is part of our FFRC podcast team, but wasn't really, he didn't go to Flight Fest or anything, so we didn't include him in on the show. So I just want to give him a shout out, and also my friend Anthony Garcia, who's if you're a listener of ours, you'll know his name, Anthony's Hobby Shop.
Yeah.
He's been on the show a few times.
He's been on the show a couple times. We bust his chops for going to the true dark side quads.
Oh yeah.
Multi-rotor.
Well, I think we've all jumped in on that one.
Yeah.
Except for Patrick, because he's scared.
Oh.
And he's like holding an airplane like a cross.
Yeah.
Done!
Right.
Done, the non-believer!
Oh man. Oh,
That's
boy.
another potential show name.
No, I'm. Ow! I might be.
I might be getting into the quad scene soon.
Blasphemer.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Power of the plane compels you, I tell you.
Yeah, I love it.
Talking about quads, though, I did get a chance to check out a new quad frame, and I actually flew that today too. And I totally forgot about it.
Oh, yeah.
And you made a comment about it, Joe.
I am very curious about it. So how did it go?
It's weird.
I told
First
you it
of
would
all-
be.
First of all, the quad it's great. It flies great. I do have one issue where when I yaw quickly, so I spin it quick, it actually starts pitching up or gaining altitude.
Where is the flight controller?
That's
Is it
the
right in
weird
the
Weird
part.
part.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
go on.
right behind. I wish I could grab it. It's right behind the FPV cam, so it's basically between the front two motors. It's not in the
So
where
it's
you would
not-
expect it.
And
the
that's
center
probably
point.
what it is, because
Yep.
the gyro is probably getting confused by the fact
Mhm.
that because
It's not in the
what
center.
it's basically doing is it's seeing this rotation, but if the
But it's
nose
spinning like this, right?
here's the thing: if the nose drops, the gyro isn't going to pick that up as a movement on the front of the blades.
Right.
It's going to read it as if the quad is falling, so it's only going to try and accelerate faster. So you're going to get almost a tornado effect.
Right.
If
That's what it
the
does.
case.
Yep.
And I had a feeling, looking at the way the frame is designed, I was worried that was going to be the case with that frame, because I love. Remind me, what's the frame again? It's
Lynx FPV Innovation,
Lynx.
and it's the Zap 210. That backplate is what you're talking about, right? It's
yes.
it's
It
so
has
narrow. Mhm.
a low-lying backplate. So that in principle, and this is where again, I'm learning all about this as I'm growing in the quadcopter part of the hobby.
Mhm.
The trouble is, when you have a low center of mass in the middle of the quadcopter like that, where the battery is in line with the prop line of the aircraft, you lose a lot of that spacing in between the middle of the, right in the center of the quad, which is where the flight controller needs to be. It needs to be right in the middle of all four motors. And the main reason is because if you imagine the aerodynamics of the way that the quad flies, is it is looking for those 4 points of balance. So if it's all the way shoved forward, I experienced the same thing with my HMB the first time I built it. If the flight controller is off center from those, and you haven't programmed the flight controller to read it that way, what's going to happen is it's going to imagine that those two motors are sitting, basically the whole quad is scooted forward. And so when it yaws like that and the nose drops, which it's going to do anyway, because that's where your mass is in the FPV camera, and if your FC is up there, then your quad is probably a little nose heavy. So as it's doing that maneuver, it's dipping the nose, and that's what's causing that tornado effect.
So that's only when I fly, when I do acrobatic stuff. If I just, I mean, I fly line of sight. I haven't flown at FPV yet, but if I just go full blast forward and I turn and and do coordinated turns, it flies perfectly fine. But I want to yaw like crazy and then just flip, 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 flip. I want that thing to be like a throwing star in the air. So in that aspect, it is a race quad and not really a acrobatic quad. The way it's set up, but can't you tell the flight controller where the motor is in perspective to the flight controller? So you can program, customize that, right?
You can, but there's one thing you cannot change, is the physics of the way that gyro is looking at those maneuvers. So you can tell it that it's further forward, but because of the way that the gyro works in the flight controller and the accelerometers, if you are telling it that it's further forward, even though that's the case, your center of mass is still forward in the quad. So it may overcompensate in the front, and you may end up it may have some weird tendencies, especially in some of those tight yaw maneuvers as the nose drops. So keep an eye on it. If for some reason it's still doing that, I would definitely recommend shift that flight controller back.
Yeah. So it does have 30mm bolt patterns to put the flight controller right in the center of the X pattern. The one thing about that I noticed was you would have to just put the flight controller. So my PDB will still be in front because I stack them. So it would have to be up front while the flight controller, because it's just, I mean, there's literally maybe a 10mm of room in there, which is occupied by my video transmitter and my receiver. So it's tight, but I do like the frame. It's nice. It looks cool. All the aluminum bits are great. I don't know how it's gonna crash. We'll see. I'll crash it definitely probably by next weekend, and give a little demo of that. But yeah, it's a cool frame. It's fun.
It's a beautiful frame. I was looking at it. The anodized aluminum is great. I mean, the parts are machined really nicely. But I said to you when I looked at it, I was like, I'm worried about the battery position in that, because it's going to throw. And sorry, now we're on the quad topic. I know everyone loves that. And this is the way that I was taught to balance a quad, is hold the quad by the propellers and hang it straight down. If it leans any which way, front or back, it's going to be off balance. You want it to sit perfectly straight in that holding the props.
Holding the prop?
Holding the props. So with the quad facing the wall, hold the props like that, and that's going to give you your horizontal, basically your midline balance. And then you do the same thing, not that it's as big of a deal, but if you need to test the vertical balance, you hold it by the front props straight down, and that will give you whether it's top heavy or back heavy. So again, it's not as big of a deal to have balanced the front, but certainly the center line. And also, putting it on a table, and wherever that center of mass is going to be, it will start to fall off the table the further you push it across. So there are a couple of physical tuning things that you have to be wary of a quad, instead of just looking at PIDs.
Right.
Again, I'm no expert, but I'm learning very quickly that they make a huge difference when it comes to flying and tuning those multis.
But I gotta say, this thing is fun to fly. It flips like on a dime, and I think it's just a beta flight. That firmware is amazing. I mean, I used to do the base flight and clean flight, and I'm trying beta flight now, and I don't know what version it is, like 2 point something or whatever.
Are you on 3 yet?
No, I don't think.
Stock PIDs
on 2.9, I think.
Oh, wait until you try.
Lies.
Shush, Nick.
Lies.
Lies. Shush. Quiet. Listen, just because you've been having trouble with yours doesn't mean the rule applies to everybody, all right? So, yeah, try the stock PIDs straight out of 3. And mind-blowing. They are really good. Now, you can, of course, fine-tune as you need to, but straight out the gate, stock PIDs on 3.0 are really rocking.
All right.
So
I'll give that a try. Yeah, awesome. Cool.
Cool.
What did Nick got over there? You got a quad there?
Yeah, you can try to tune this here, Joel.
What is that thing?
That's big.
Yeah, that's really big. What is that?
The
Is that
250.
a Lumineer?
No, it's
Oh, QAV, right? No.
I can't even remember what it is now. That's the horrible
It is big
part.
though.
Is that
Yeah,
one
that
of
thing's
them drones?
monster. It looks like a
one of them-
450 size drone.
All this drone talk, Mikey left us. Oh no, there he is.
Oh man, now you makes me want to
there.
get mine.
Mikey's got to
That's
get
a
his.
little bitty one.
What is that? Is
Yeah,
that, is that a
Hang on.
what
Get
antenna
mine.
is that?
That's a
This is
160.
There goes
160. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
160,
Amazing.
nice. Oh, that thing
Dan
must be a
Cruz.
screamer.
Dan
RCS.
Cruz for me.
Oh, hang on.
It's got what size are the props? I don't even remember. They're like
4-inch.
I got 6-inch props on mine.
I've got some. Here we go. This is my new.
There you go.
toy.
Tiny whoop.
Tiny whoop.
Well, there you go.
So I've got some. I got my B-Brain coming in for it, which is why it doesn't have a flight controller, and I've got some props coming in from my good friend and friend of the show, the RC newbie, also known as Tim Michael. So he is hooking me up from our sponsor of our team, our flying team, Great 3D. So thank you, Great 3D, for providing those for us. So I got the little all-in-one cam to go on this thing.
Wait, what does Patrick have there? Oh, is that a tricopter aluminum?
That's a tricopter.
Wait, where is it? Let me see it.
Wow, that is huge.
Oh wow,
Is
damn.
that one of David's frames?
No, this is Eric Monroe gave this to me.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Don't.
that's what a quadcopter sounds like hitting a,
Yeah.
or tricopter.
That's
Hitting a
tricopter.
mic.
And that will definitely come through on the recording. Thank you, Patrick.
You're welcome. I'm here for you, Joel.
So Pat, is that made of aluminium?
This is made of aluminum. These are like towel racks, tubes.
That
and
looks like a carrot frame.
the landing gear is my design. It's angle aluminum, and I just bolted them on. And it's a nice tricopter. It's, this is from a guy who does AP for a living, so he wants stability and big, heavy things, not flippy stuff.
Rinky
Not
dinky
flippy
things.
stuff.
Oh man, you guys are making me want to grab my my stuff.
Yeah, but mine's an RCX 250.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's
we'll-
basically a QAV clone.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look at that neck together a little bit more detail. Patrick, what are your plans upcoming here?
Well,
Clean the basement.
That
When
will
does he
never
start?
ever happen.
no. The cleaning
That
the
will
basement
never
is
ever happen.
hush. It's going to happen someday.
Someday being the key words in that statement.
When
Well-
he's in a home and whoever is the closest relative that has to go through it all.
Honestly, I've got a lot of projects that I want to get back into, and I just have to decide which one I want to get into. I really kind of want to get back onto the B25 build.
Oh, nice.
It's been sitting quiet for probably about a year and a half now, and I really do want to get it done because I think once it's done, it's going to be phenomenal. I've got the P47, the 57-inch wingspan balsa P57 that I need to finish up. I need to glass the fuselage. I have the panel lines laid up on the wings. I need to sand the bottom down and peel the paint, peel the chart pack tape off for the panel lines and paint. So that's coming along. I've got the Grand Esprit that I made tremendous progress on, and then just stopped because the spoilers are a kind of a pain and fiddly to get the string run through to a center servo. And I'm still thinking about just dropping a servo out in the wing for each for each of those spoilers and be done with it. It'd be a lot easier than trying to fish string line through. What else do I have going on? I really need to get a pair of good FPV goggles. I have a pair that Fred sent me, and they're they work, but they don't cover your full face. And thank you, Fred. That was awesome of you. But I'm looking at getting a cheap pair. I'm looking at the Quantum Pro V2s, the DIY. They're like $36, and they get pretty good reviews. So
Just take your shirt and cover it up.
Yeah, there you go.
Just
yeah, sure. Yeah, I really think though I do need to get this place under control, because it's to the point now where it just bothers me to come down here, so I'm not motivated to work. I just have too much stuff and too little of a space, so I've got to figure out what to do with it and just get more organized. I need to get my beautiful 8-foot long by 4-foot desk, my work table cleaned off. Yeah. I mean, I've got so many projects up in the air right now. It's making me crazy, and it's so cluttered right now. I can't. I take my stuff upstairs and work on it, and then that gets on my wife's nerves. So you know what I'm saying. So I really got to get this whole thing under control. I think I might have to call in the Hoarders people. That show.
Yep.
But I'm not throwing anything away. It's just got to get organized. It's all it is.
Isn't that what they all say?
Yeah,
I think so.
Find a dead squirrel.
Yeah, but I'm right.
Yeah, really. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I look around and I have some really fantastic projects underway, but just because of the sheer mass of stuff I have in here right now, it's getting in the way of me making progress on anything. It's making me crazy.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and it's gonna be hard for him to try to even clean it out himself, because he'll be lifting something up and ooh, shiny object.
Yep.
yeah,
Be gone.
squirrel.
And that's true.
Ooh, I want to
For
work
a
on this
moment.
now.
And right now,
Well-
I have nowhere to go with it. I mean, there literally is like my garage at the moment's a mess too. I'm sure you're shocked at that. So it's like
Not at all.
I need to purge the garage, and then I need to take stuff out there, stage it, bring it back in. I need to build racks for planes. I need to build containers for balsa stock. I need to do a lot of work down here
Yeah.
before I can even do work on airplanes.
Yeah.
Good.
When
We
I need to
could
do
do
work
easily.
and my desk is a mess, I just take a big box and all right, it's clean. It's ready to do some work.
I have a lot of those boxes. By the way.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you see the stack of them?
Yeah.
I'm still working on rearranging some stuff here. I've gotten a lot better, but it still needs a little bit of work. And I know Allison's a little bit tired of me using the dining room table to do
Oh,
my build
Steve.
projects.
Steve knows all about that. You using the dining room table for your builds?
I don't
Build
use my
projects?
dining room table. No, I have a nice, what is it, 4 by 6 foot table I got at IKEA that adjusts. Yeah, I
I've
don't
seen
use
you
my
at the dining room table and a
Oh,
couple
I take
photos.
pictures. I take pictures of my helis and stuff that I finished there. But yeah, no, I don't do any work on it. It's all
No.
done
Oh,
on,
there you go.
on a work table.
Alrighty. That's not bad, though.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, Nick,
Cool.
what about you? What are you up to next?
To be honest, I still have to get Keegan to actually help me with the secret project. Well, it's not really a secret project, but it is for next year's Flight Fest.
The need to know project, and you
Yeah.
don't need to know.
I've got the project now that I'm gonna be working on with you. I got the quad that I need to tune in. I just got so much work. I got to find a new college.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right.
If
All
you
right.
like your college, you can
That
keep it.
sucks, man.
Yep. Yeah, I'm waiting to see if I can get my transcript or how long it's gonna take.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Other technical institutes like DeVry or whatever just don't pick everyone up and be like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
we'll
They
count all
probably
your
end up
credits.
well.
The problem is that's another for-profit college, and no one knows which one's next on the chopping block.
So
Yeah.
did your school just close?
Yeah.
ITT Tech,
ITT did. Yep.
Oh.
Mhm.
Wow.
136 campuses, roughly 40,000 students and 8,000 employees just gone.
Yep.
Damn.
It's crazy.
In less than a day, too.
Yeah, like no
Yes.
warning or nothing, right?
Nope. No.
Yeah, the teachers, or actually any staff, like Labor Day weekend came and they were like, they got an email saying that, oh, you get an extra day, you get Tuesday off as well. And then
Mm.
like Saturday or Sunday night, they get an email for they got their last check. And then early Tuesday morning, they get the notice saying that they've been laid off and that the school's
Wow.
closed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it came really quick. No one knew what
Yeah.
was happening.
Wow.
Yep.
Damn.
And there we had a news crew at the local campus here in Tampa, and they said the same exact thing. They said that they refused access to students who were looking to get their transcripts printed. They didn't want to talk to anyone in the media, like nothing.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I don't know. It sounds like a civil suit to me.
Yep.
Class action.
From what I understand, there's 3 lawsuits, and one of them has gone to a class action from the teachers themselves.
Good.
Mhm.
Teachers, students, yeah, everyone should. Get them.
Absolutely.
All right. Who else do we need to hear
Wow.
from now?
Mike, I think. Mike's
Yeah.
up.
No, I already talked. I talked about getting my Part 107 this winter and all that.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
I didn't go.
Yeah, Kevin.
Kevin.
It's because you don't have
Kevin didn't
video.
go.
Yep.
I got a jet.
Yes.
What jet?
I got I
What?
bought a 3-wing 80mm Super Scorpion
Oh, nice.
jet
Ooh.
that I got to get batteries for. That
You got batteries. I have
got
them for
batteries.
you.
Steve has them.
Yes, I got two 4100 6S Pulse. They use 6S.
6S,
Dude.
baby.
Yeah, the
Oh,
batteries are
that
huge.
thing-
They're like this big.
That thing is gonna scream.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a 12-blade prop, and
Oh.
already saw it fly. It's pretty cool. It's got retracts, flaps on it.
Mhm.
Nice.
Should be a
That's
lot of
It's a
fun.
weird V-tail stabilizer, a vertical stabilizer, like a V shape. It's really cool.
Oh,
Interesting.
speaking of- sorry to. I don't.
I know where you're going with this.
You do, but keep going, Kevin. I just have something I want to say before we sign off.
I'll bring it up. Don't worry.
I got to fix a couple of helicopters. I think little things, but that's about it.
Ellie,
And hearing you guys talk about the planes, and I have a ton of planes.
You
Like,
have a ton.
if
Mhm.
I had to count, I'd say I'm in the 20s of all the
Me
flight
too.
test planes and stuff like that and stuff like. I think I'm gonna try and narrow it down to like pick 10 of my favorites and keep them. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest.
I still want you to
have no
tell me
idea.
when you're one of those 3D balsa planes you have in your shed.
Hmm.
I'll take one of those. I'll take a revolver or something.
Oh yeah, that's pretty huge though.
Oh, I'd
60-inch
love to
fine.
have a revolver.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it. I got
got
an SUV now. I got room. I got room to bring
that guy
stuff.
gave that to me too. He was like, I bought that P-51 from him for $20, and he was like, do me a favor, take that revolver too, and get it out of here.
Oh,
What a
like,
deal.
okay.
Wow.
revolver's a nice plane.
Mhm.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's totally airframe only, nothing in it.
That's fine.
That's a very broken plane you got there, Nick.
Yeah, what is that?
I just got this in my head, and I remembered I had this. This, if anyone recognizes it, is a Nerd
Nerd
Nick
Nick.
plane.
Yeah, I could tell by his
This
Mr.
is the
Closer.
one. This is the one he hit the Dusty with in Flight Fest.
Oh.
I was the one who got to take the wreckage home after he repaired it and crashed it like 2 more times or something.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny,
that's
'cause
actually
I was just gonna
Go.
say, throw that out.
Yeah, like
When you picked that up, I was like, get rid of that. But all right. Guess
It's got the aluminum spar, so if I want to build one of his planes, I can tear it out.
Ah.
So, you got any other good things up and coming, Kevin?
No, that's it for now. Other than the like Patrick, the 12 billion projects I got going on at once.
oh, we got something for next weekend now.
Oh yeah, we're going to
Yeah, we're
fun
going
fly
to
next
another
weekend.
heli fun fly.
Oh God, more heli.
South Jersey heli harvest fun fly something.
Yeah,
Uh,
enough of this silliness.
There you go.
I was gonna say, are you bringing Arnold back there, Kevin?
I
for
think
the
so. We
announcement?
got people that are like, "Hey, we got to do
Hardcore,
something. We gotta
yeah.
do something with Arnold." I don't know what. I got
Like, no, now that the fun fly's over, we're not gonna hear Arnold anymore. Yeah,
There's
we
gonna
need
be
to
more.
do something. We got it.
There's gonna be more. And if
Yeah,
you
for
record
sure.
that file, go ahead and throw it my way, and we'll put it in 2 different places in each.
Okay.
Maybe we'll run like a promotion. Like whoever figures it out first is gonna get like sticker packs.
There you go.
Are you guys planning on going to Neat Fair at all?
I'm not. I don't know about neat. What
Was
about
that
you,
this
Kevin?
weekend? Was that?
No, that's
I think it wasn't
I
it.
think it's this coming weekend.
I
Yeah,
think it was this weekend.
This weekend was the Rhinebeck 50
the
anniversary.
Rhinebeck. You're
I
right.
wanted to
Oh,
go to that,
I wouldn't. Oh,
Rhinebeck.
but I couldn't get up there for that one.
Mm.
And then next weekend, next weekend I'm working Saturday, and then we're going down to the Jersey, the South Jersey thing. So
okay.
I don't think I'm going to go to Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Neat 2 years in a row. Didn't bring any planes. Just went up there and enjoyed myself. Watched guys fly and laughed when they got yelled at and stuff like that. And then
Oh, is that where people get yelled at?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's why I don't think I want to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
Yeah, I mean, I want to have fun. I don't want to get some,
Yeah, no, that's not good.
guy just yelling at me. You have too many guys up there.
if that plane's not on the ground in 10 seconds, I'm going to stomp on it or whatever.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Stomp on and see
next
what
weekend.
happens to you.
Yeah.
Stomp on your neck.
I'm going to be leaving here in handcuffs over that stupid $45 plane.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Too funny. But no, I think I'm the last one to go on the what's coming up in RC. So I've got the build project that I'm working on with now. I've got some friends who want to jump in here with me. So I'm about a third of the way through that. Should be done here in the next. I really do want to get it out this week. I've got the motors for it. I got the ESCs and I got the. I've still got to do the power distribution and the Y harness for it and all that good stuff because I've only done a few little bits and pieces here and there for it. But once that's done, I've got another plane coming in the pipe. I just put an order in with Hobby King for a nice 300-watt setup because that is going to go in a Nerd Nick design. Nick is bringing out the V2 of the P-39, and the Airacobra is probably one of my favorite airplanes of World War II, and as someone who has not exclusively flown a Warbird, it will probably be a really nice first plane to fly. So I'm going to do a really nice little setup with that. I'm going to get a bigger receiver for it and do all that fun stuff. I've actually just found out another friend of mine who wants to get into some wing racing. So I'm going to be building up a race wing eventually here in the next month or so. So that's in the works as well. I'm looking at potentially doing some designs of my own for race wings, seeing as that seems to be a trend now that the nationals have happened up in New York, so the race wing scene seems to be growing a little bit. So I'm going to see if I can get my hands in that segment before that really takes off. Other than that, nothing else really to report here on my end. I've still got some stuff to work on the Sybil. B-Brain coming in for the Tiny Whoop, so I hope to be getting some more content out on my personal feeds. That is definitely a mission this upcoming rainy season, because we don't really have a winter. My upcoming rainy season is to put more content on the
Hello,
YouTubes.
Vader.
Oh, he's back. We're at 2 hours, guys.
It's back.
And we're at 2 hours and 14 minutes.
Oh my god. What?
It's crazy.
Man.
Oh, wow. Luke, I am your father.
What's your service provider?
It's Bright House who blow donkey balls.
Oh, wow.
Oh, edit.
That come through quick.
Is it
Oh,
back?
that hit a nerve.
Yeah,
It's
of course.
yeah, it's coming back right there.
Yeah. Yeah, right when you said that, it comes back.
Well, I'll leave that as a excerpt at the end of the show with a beep.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Show title says Fred.
Show title. Yeah, well, I'll quickly say this before we resume the regular show. Yeah, Bright House fucking sucks, and I hate them.
Mm.
I'm gonna definitely edit that out.
Yeah, oh, that will be gone. That will be gone from the main.
That's
show.
going to be hard to edit out of the.
Sorry,
Live
YouTube.
broadcast.
Sorry, YouTube.
If you're watching live, sorry.
Anyway, moving on swiftly. So, is there anything else we want to talk about before we call it a night? Because sadly, I have to think about going to bed now.
Well, I
No,
think,
this has been great.
I think
Yeah.
Pat had something he wanted to talk about. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's
Oh, was
right.
it the Excalibur, Pat?
Oh, right, yeah.
Aha!
I
knew
gotta
it.
say, I really like the looks of that plane. The new Hobby King Durafly Excalibur.
I have one
Oh, the one
exception
that
to that.
Andres got.
I
Yeah.
have a big thing that I spotted when in his flight footage, and I don't know if anyone else caught it. Is it just me, or was the tail experiencing some really nasty torsion issues at high speed? I did
seen
not
that.
like the look of that. That's one thing that's
Well-
turning me off of that airplane, because I agree, Pat. It would be in my want list, with the exception when I saw that video and I saw how much that tail was turning and how much adverse effect that was having on the flight characteristics at the time it was occurring. That put me off the plane completely.
Well, if Hobby King wants to send me one to test the torsion of the tail, I'd be happy to do so.
So I'm sure Andre will probably end up listening to this, but Andre, I'm surprised that you didn't say, or if I haven't seen your review yet, so I can't really comment, but if you haven't mentioned anything about the twist in the tail, I would definitely make a mention of that to the people at Hobby King, because that was really alarming at how much that was turning.
I'll have to go back and watch his videos again. I was watching one on RC groups, and it looked rock solid. So I'll go back and watch Andre's.
Yeah, look at the one where he's specifically, the video camera is pointing specifically at the tail. And
Well,
Is this the one where he's got the speed gun, or is this a different
no,
one?
it was one of the evening flights.
Okay.
And he's bringing it around into a steep dive, and just watch the V-tail go from this to this.
Oh wow.
yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, it was
the
really
Icon
long.
A5 does that from Horizon, the original.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
It does this.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, it's if you give it any speed at all, it starts
It'll-
doing
Waving
all kinds of
goodbye?
crazy-
Just in the face.
Pretty much, man. It's
Pretty
pretty
much.
bad.
Oh, that's funny.
It's pretty bad.
Not that we specifically do reviews here at the Flight Test Community Podcast, but since that was brought up, I wanted to make mention that was something that I did spot.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
I guess we'll figure that out when the review comes out, Andre.
I'd like to try it for
is saying
myself.
that it's, what's that?
I said I'd like to try it for myself.
Oh, well, Luis is saying it's an optical illusion. It says the tail doesn't twist that much, but I don't know.
I don't know. It looked like it was twisting a whole awful lot to me. But it could just be my eyes, because, well, I'm a Brit, so, you know. There's that. Well, you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh, who's that? Who's that?
I don't know who that is.
Sounds like a helicopter taking off.
Seems like Steve. He's the one that keeps popping up on my screen.
Sounds like somebody's eating chips.
What happened?
Oh, it stopped. That
Yeah,
was
it
weird.
stops when he talked.
That
Wow.
was
Oh,
weird.
maybe because I have a ceiling fan and maybe it was picking that up for some reason.
Yeah, it
Oh,
must have.
maybe.
It must have been picking it up.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
All right.
I mean, it's helicopters. It's everywhere.
Yeah, really.
The CIA is flying above your house there.
Yeah, really.
Hey.
Oh, look, it's Arnold. All right. So,
Cool.
do we want to sign this thing off?
Yeah.
Well, first I wanna thank you, Joe, and the whole FTCC guys. For getting this going. It's something we all wanted to do. So it's awesome that we actually got this going. So yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, and I had a great time. We got
I
Yeah.
do want to say thank you guys as well. So
Yep.
Mhm.
And thank you guys for hosting one of our episodes.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
For sure.
that's awesome.
Share the love.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure
Yeah, we-
hosting you
yeah.
guys too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
absolutely.
it was awesome to hang out with you guys at Flight Fest too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely
definitely.
was.
Yep.
Thanks for the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin makes good coffee.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks to all your listeners. Thanks for all our listeners. Hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Yep. And
Yeah,
what
we
is
hope
it?
Everybody enjoyed it.
What is it that you usually sign off with? I know Mike was giving me grief last week about the way I sign off the show.
Usually
I couldn't
I'll say-
remember it.
Usually I thank our listeners, thanks all the folks that are on the show, and then we say free our skies, and we'll see you next time.
And
See ya.
our sign off is blue skies, everybody. Hope you have a great week, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cool. All right.
Everybody take care. Thanks a lot, guys. We had a great time. So
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah, I'll give you
Yeah.
a camera next time. I can give you a tour of my garage.